Well,
and it'll be based on reality. There'll be no more printing numbers and computers and fooling people with magic debt. It'll have to be real. It'll
real
have to
debt.
be based on actual products like wheat, gold, potatoes, stuff that exists in the real world. There'll be no more fantasy finance, no more fantasy economics. That's what is being prepared. And it's all set up. The computers are all there. The gold has been shipped around to back up the honest dollars that were out in the world there.
Yeah. Let me ask you, Ben. Hey, Ben.
Scumbags to step aside.
All right. Well, that won't happen too soon. Are they?
George Senior is the final obstacle. Him and his Nazi troopers and their fanatic warriors, the Blackwater mercenaries. This group is the final domino to fall. And, he's already, I've heard that he's kind of gone a bit senile, and, I don't think they're going to be able to hold out much longer. But, again, you never, ever should underestimate these people.
What are your Chinese?
Extraordinarily clever and extraordinarily evil.
I need to know.
Always keep our guard up 120% at least.
All right. Okay.
In dealing with these people.
Now help me out. The Chinese have announced that they're not going to hold their corporations and their companies to honoring. You know the story.
Yeah, the Japanese as well as the Europeans. Okay.
So what does this mean?
Everybody.
So no one's going to take hold of these things. They're going to walk. They're all toxic. If the Japanese actually walk away, what happens? And the Chinese, if they walk away.
You see, again, the constitutional republic of the United States has no debt.
Well, then what are all these derivatives then?
That's the federal corporation, United States corporation. It's not the same. So if the American people return to a constitutional republic, they'll have no debt. It'll all be written off. And they'll be financed fully to do whatever they want, however they want, according to their desire. That's the deal we're offering the American people in exchange for their cooperation in getting rid of these scumbag Satan worshippers who've taken over Washington, D.C. And I believe the military agrees with us, the Pentagon and all these people, and it's just the CIA and the Blackwater mercenaries and their Fuhrer, George Bush Sr., that need to be dealt with at this point.
Okay, Ben, we got to go back to economics here. I need your vision and your analysis. The Chinese are turning their dollar hordes loose. They're driving up the Australian luxury real estate market. They're buying properties. They're buying businesses. They're doing a lot with their dollars, and they're kind of doing it in a hurry. They've announced that they're not going to honor derivatives contracts. That in and of itself is really enough to throw the world into a grand mal seizure.
Well, that's what's happening. That's why the shipping has stopped. And that's why there's all this chaos happening. It's economic, financial warfare. And I'm telling you, the Japanese and the British and the Swiss, the BIS, they're all on the same team now, and the Vatican. So really, we're down now to the feudal society, skull and bones, human slave drivers, and their mercenaries. And
what about
all they've got as their weapon is terror?
All right. Well, yeah. What about the?
But they're not producing those vaccines. Their so-called H1N1 virus has not been spread around. They're being taken down, and I think they know that they have a choice now between a win-win and a lose-lose solution, and eventually they're going to decide to choose win-win.
Well, you have a lot of people
a matter of time.
Hoping you're right and rooting for
I am hoping I'm right too, but if not, the worst-case scenario, is that they choose all-out nuclear warfare, which would, make the planet mostly uninhabitable.
Yeah.
And that's not really a good choice. It's much better to make love than to die, I think that is something they will agree with at the end of the day.
One would hope so.
we'll see, and we'll believe it when it happens. But you can already see, the leaks, the things falling apart. I mean, it was lovely to watch when they had the 2 million people march in Washington, and you have the New York Times say thousands of people. Hey, New York Times, guess what? Nobody believes you anymore. You're a bunch of liars and scumbag, and you've been caught out in a big open public lie.
It was pretty
Same
outrageous.
with the Wall Street Journal. Those, media pigs are really, really on a, walking a dangerous, razor-thin line right now.
Well, one would hope that their gluttony of lies and deceit will actually undercut them and remove them as a factor, but we'll have to wait and see. Ben, we're just about out of time.
It's a culture of obedience based on ultimate terror. Okay, anybody who's in that group knows that any slight sign of disobedience results in the death penalty.
Mm-hmm.
So, in other words, you have to get the head of the snake, and if you do that, the rest of the snake's body is kaput. It'll do whatever the new head says.
All right. Well,
That's
it's time for a new head transplant. I agree.
Exactly. The human brain needs a transplant.
Thank you, Ben. Have a good week. Take care of yourself. We'll talk to you soon.
Hopefully it'll be a very different world when we talk next month. We'll see.
Yes, indeed. Good night, Ben.
Okay.
It may be a very different world between now and the 30th of October, the day before Halloween. Time will tell.